Cameron Green is on 95 not out, the third last ball of the day. What's his name? O'Rourke comes into bowl and Cameron Green tries to launch him into next week. Mark Richardson, I think, is on commentary. He says, that would have gone to lavender. And then Brendan Julian says, wherever that is. And that's the tone that I want set for this series. Australians not giving a flying fuck about anything that involves New Zealand. I keep hearing, geez, New Zealand were good today. This game will be over tomorrow. Okay? This game is over tomorrow. Cameron Green's just hit one of the all-time great hundreds. They finished the day 9 for 279. It's 500 too many. Australia will never have to bat again in the series. They prepared a shit tip. They've sent us in, and they couldn't even take 10 wickets. Did you enjoy the day, Pezza?
Did I? I just completely agree with what you said. And I think it was underscored by a moment when Daryl Mitchell, on a green fucking monster whose deck had hardened into divots encrusted to ensure inconsistent bounce and pace.
It's a shit tip.
Daryl Mitchell was coming in bowling medium pace to Mitch Marsh with the keeper standing up. It truly was Western Australia grade cricket 2010. It really was Scarborough versus Fremantle at one point. How did New Zealand manage to reduce this opportunity to grade cricket?
It's their World Cup
only
final.
They can. You zoom out on the day, the Australians looking resplendent in their vests.
Yeah.
Then there's fucking 8 guys dressed like super troopers on the hill where I can see Shell behind and Maccas. Getting interviewed by a bloke trying his best.
Doing his best.
Trying his very best.
Yeah.
And you think, grade cricket, like it was.
Think how close we were from making it, Pezza.
We have to be clear to the viewer here. We're in the studio doing this daily. The time zones are just absolutely deluxe for an Eastern Seaboard. Yeah, and we don't get that very often. I think it's very often. And so the last time Higgins and I got to sit down and watch the cricket all day, while working, of course, and take it all in was Gabba, the Gabba against India there.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is like the ideas and observations of the game end up just compressing into the most aggressive, over-the-top kind of analysis that exists.
Yeah.
So we've already decided that Australia will only bat once.
Yeah, that's right. This game is over. This game is over. They'll never have to play these coats again. There's a reason it's been 8 years. You turn up and put this shit on.
So yeah, it was Australia's day.
Here's what happened in the game. I'll run you through the scores of the days played. New Zealand won the toss and they chose to field, or indeed they tried to have a bowl. Steve Smith and Khawaja put on 61 for the first wicket before Smith was caught behind for 31. Then Marnus made 1 from 27. More on Marnus later. Then Khawaja was out with the score on 88 after he ground out 118 ball 33, one of the all-time great 33s. Travis Head was out for 1. And then Mitch Marsh contributed a wonderful 40 off 39 balls to get the game rolling along. Carey was out for not many. Starr contributed a little bit, as did Cummins, and Lyon was the last wicket of the day. But it is Cameron Green's day with 103 not out off 155 balls. It's most definitely his best innings for Australia. We'll talk about him in a second. And it's his second Test match 100. Just look at the bowling figures. Southie slightly unders, or maybe was he just creaking in the old breeze there, Southie? Jeez, he was struggling in the field. Matt Henry, though, 4 for 43, just ripping into every single component.
No, it's good. Do your scorecards. Do your little
4 for
scorecards
43
there.
for Matt Henry. He was fantastic, to be fair, of us, for what he's capable of. Will O'Rourke, what a talent he is. 2 for 59. Kugeline, 2 for 56. Darryl Mitchell and Ravindra bowled 8 overs between them. Ravindra got 1 wicket, that being Pat Cummins. That's what's happened in the day's play. 9 for 279, Pezza, or 279 for 9. Because it's only Australia that does it the other way around. And we are in New Zealand. We've got to respect the cultures, okay? We've got to respect it. And now let's disrespect them. Cameron Green at the end of the day's play said, New Zealand probably just in front. Are they fuck?
There's a very...
Are they fuck?
Everybody's noting this. I don't know if it's because we haven't played them in any kind of focused way, or we don't do it very often, like both nations. But like, there's a very funny like pantomime parochialism going on between both nations. I do feel like New Zealand is the aggressor in this situation. Like I do think if Australia had gone to New Zealand and the skeletons, present themselves as nice people as they do, just did that, and the former Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's there, just a wonderful sheen and facade of a nation who stands up to the US and etc.
Sure.
Presented itself that way. I think Australia would have gone with that. Yes, cocked out with got the cocks out and
got
won.
the cocks out.
But instead, I feel like there is a concerted public effort to ensure that that's not the case this time with Australia. So there's this comedic, like, pantomime parochialism happening. You hear it with the NZ commentators through the T20s. There's some Dave Warner stuff knocking around. You're seeing pictures of Steve Smith and Warner crying at a press conference fucking 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Commentators appealing for LBs.
Yeah. That was a ball passing off. Kawaja had a tight, precise sleeve this morning, and the commentator went, ooh. And I got to say, you think it's Cam Green's day? He's silver medal. Today belonged to Brendan Julian.
Well done, BJ.
Seriously, that is Brendan Julian's greatest day of commentary. No joke or satire in that. Like, we got...
It's his magnum opus.
Mate, it is his magnum opus.
Because
there is some NZ heritage there, isn't there, with BJ?
Yeah,
he's got
right.
something. There's
That's
so
right.
perhaps he feels a kinship too.
Well, he's good looking.
But, of course. But
Kiwi men are very good looking.
he's obviously he's part of the coverage. I don't know if he's sort of off the Fox leash or something. The position that he occupies in that combox is just elevated. He's embracing the natural alphadom within, and he fucking destroyed so many comments today.
Yeah.
He just alphaed the shit out of that, and it was good to hear. Like, what do we have here? I know we had the one at the end that you talked about. There was a point, I think, where Katie, the commentator, Martin,
Yep.
was describing in beautiful detail Mitch Marsh supporting doing some charity work and his communication with a particular child that he was staying in touch with.
Yes.
The point being that men don't talk very often, and his communication skills were excellent.
Yeah.
And it was so earnest and beautiful, and it was actually one of a rare moment of a New Zealand commentator complimenting an Australian.
Right.
And BJ just let the silence hover and said, like, I'm watching this out here and I can barely communicate that.
But for the entire day, really, he's going to go back to the hotel tonight and he's going to have about 1.5 kilos of cucumbers over the eyes because he had crow's feet all day. And some of the comments like, his neck's snapping around. He's going to come to work tomorrow with a neck brace, like he's just been in a horrendous car accident.
But like, BJ in a neck brace is exactly what I want. Like, I want crow's feet, and then I want cucumbers over the eyes at night. Okay, let's go.
Here's what you want. This episode and TGC for this series brought to you by Smith Optics Australia. You can go to smithopticsaustralia.com.
I almost forgot.
And you can explore the Field range. Page the Field Sports range in the tab there for sunglasses. You've got your Wildcats, you've got your Verts. You can use the code FAST for 25% off your order. You only have to pay for 3/4 of the full price of sunglasses for listening or watching this dumb shit right here. Okay? We're getting behind the boys. Whoever those boys are, we're getting behind them. With the code FAST for 25% off your order at smithopticsaustralia.com.
A lot of people will not understand this reference yet, but I hope you will. There's one guy in particular in New Zealand at Wellington at the moment who is wearing the Smiths, who I'd like to make the feature of this particular segment if he does what he promised he'd do on Patreon.
Okay,
Muzz, looking forward to seeing you on TV. Come on.
Muzz. Come on,
do
Muzz.
what you need to do.
If you need to know more about that, jump on Patreon. Anyway, smithopticsaustralia.com. Thanks for supporting us throughout the rest of this test series. We're just the 2 test series. All right, Pez, let's talk about Cam Green, who came into the game at, 2 for 65 when Marnus was dismissed. We'll talk about Marnus in a second, as I said earlier, who made 1 of 27. Green finishes 103 off 155, 16 boundaries, hit him at 66, if that's your sort of statistic that you might like, or you might not, one of those two options. It was busy. It came down the crease. It looked good. It looks like it's got a bit about it now. It looks like it's been proactive. It looks like it's had a look at a shaved head, maybe a neck tattoo.
You thought there was a bit more neck tattoo about this innings?
It didn't look as timid as I've seen it on what, as we've described earlier, is a shit tip.
Yeah, my experience with seeing Cam Green at number 4, when you see it in the lineup, I think outstanding. There's the future. That's where it needs to be. That let saloon passage, give him what he needs and let it fly and flourish. Chariots, grapes, pigeons.
Yeah.
And
we get to watch a Hall of Fame career unfold in front of us.
That's right. A thoroughbred horse from its very commencement as a little foal grow into a stallion.
Yeah.
And so I see it and I think that's where it needs to be. And then when he comes into bat, you remember oh God, it can look so stiff and timid at times.
Yeah.
In the past, it's quite often it looks very straight and pushy and rigid when you want a little bit more flow and fluency and sort of game awareness and stuff. It looks a bit ball machiney. But today, I don't think it actually looked too different to the way he's batted previously. But his technique was able to ride the vagaries of the pitch better than a lot of his teammates have. So we were seeing nuance and technique and precision in the way that he assessed the situation, the way that he problem solved. So this wasn't just a big 2-meter thoroughbred stallion coming out and just front dogging, say the way Mitch Marsh did. He worked his way through that knock with different gears. So I think the batsmanship, although it doesn't quite fit the brand we'd like to overlay to him, that of a stallion, 2 meters, etc., was really the standout component of element of the day. The way he got down the deck, the way he got the bowlers to mix up their length because of his reach, etc. He took full toll off the back foot and the front dog when he needed to, and then when he needed to accelerate at the end to get his 100, he did. So it was very mature, extremely promising.
Yep.
And he hasn't even got that shaved head and neck tattoo yet.
Exactly. So his other 100 that he scored was in the 4th Test match of the Border Gavaskar Trophy in India. That was in the Ahmedabad Test match where they basically just made a complete road so no one could win that game. So some people would say it doesn't count, although of course he does get the rite of passage now to say, almost like a scout's badge.
Woo.
A scout's badge where he gets I've scored 100 in India.
Ticking
the Hall of Fame.
He's got 100 in India.
Yeah, exactly. But this one was special.
Hey, tough deck, tough runs. No one else could score runs. That's what you want away from home.
Yeah,
it's good shit.
It's good shit.
Did you like New Zealand? Did you like the attack though?
I felt that especially in the first session, New Zealand bowled way too short. Hardly any balls hitting the stumps.
Now we're talking.
It wasn't aggressive. There was some plays and misses. Yeah, I'll say that. There was hardly an LBW shout. I thought it was so unders. I thought it was weak. It didn't have the trajectory, didn't have the pace, didn't have the airspeed, which I think is becoming more and more crucial in Test match cricket especially. You win the toss and bowl. For some reason, there seems to be some celebration that Australia's 9 down. No, I mean, that deck has 140 all out written all over it. And I thought Smith and Khawaja especially. I mean, this is where an approach opposite to other countries is beneficial because you've got a guy Khawaja's faced 120 balls. He's faced 20 overs of the new ball. I thought Smith was okay today as well on a difficult deck. You still wonder about his.
They put on 50
of off stump. Yep. But I mean, it's not like New Zealand bowled bad balls. It was just fucking hard to score, but it wasn't aggressive enough. Just so many balls need to be more balls need to be hitting the stumps.
That's right. And I don't think they challenged off bail enough.
Yeah, and I'd be very surprised if Australia struggle with that issue tomorrow.
I like Smith opening the batting, getting a little bit more used to it. He will not like making 30. I do think it looks, like when he's I'm going to say ticking off, but when he's moving around a lot. It looks very French cricket, It looks very my both feet pointing down the deck. My hands are outside the body. You can see all of leg stump. Leaves aren't an option. I just want to cover that space. But then you think he averages 58, and he's done it with unconventional methods. So who the fuck am I to say this doesn't look right?
Let's talk about Marnus.
Okay.
He made 1 off 27. Here are his last. Do you want me to go back to when he literally won? I saved the game for.
Well, you should go all the way back to just the game after his best last score, just to really amplify
That's right.
how bad it is. Yeah.
So do you remember when he literally saved the Ashes for Australia in Manchester by making 111? Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, since then, I'll go back from today. So 1, 5, 3, 1 not out, 10, 62 red, 64, 63, 2, 16, 13, 9, 111. it's lean. There's probably better statistics to wrap it up. I think I saw Rick Finlay do a tweet today about his quarterly averages, and now his quarterly average is now at 31 compared to previously 58, 57, and 56. It is a decline. There is no question about that. But here's the thing. The next test match in Christchurch is the last test match Australia plays until the first test match of the Border Gavaskar series in late November. So he is going to play the next test match. He will have he's going to Leicestershire, I think it might be. Oh, is that right? He's going somewhere in the UK to play county cricket again, as he has done for the last couple of years. He'll stay in red ball form.
He goes to Gloucester. That's where he
Gloucester, is it Gloucester?
Yeah, Gloucester or Glenmorgan.
Yeah.
I'm obviously right across it.
Anyway, so and then he'll obviously have the beginning of the Sheffield Shield for Queensland. So I don't think it's sort of worked out in his favour, I suppose, that like
Glenmorgan.
He won't have another away tour where he might struggle. He has time to sort it out, but there's no doubt there's been a drop off. I mean, the Australian batters, generally speaking, were unders throughout the summer. That was a feeling from everyone, I think, including the team. So, is there anything else to say other than like I hope he sorts it out soon because he's a key part of the side?
Yeah, like personally, because this is very important, I'm bullish on Marnus. I think he's the 3, and I think you just invest in him at 3. I think that what he's done, the body of work that he's put together as a 3 around the world is worthy of staying with and regarding what's happening now as a form slump that happens in cricket. Yeah. The interesting conversation is that I don't think everybody shares that view. I think there in some quarters there is a suggestion that his initial success in cricket, which did last quite a few years, was owing to a lot of luck from dropped catches, etc., and that those who argue against him are saying that like his actual ability, and he's catching up with his scores, or vice versa. The scores catching up with his ability. So you're right. There's no like. Even if he fails in the next 3 innings, he will still be the incumbent 3 against India, but there will be eyes on how he's batting for Glamorgan if he's back there this year, and then in the Shield, in the lead up to it, so the Sheffield Shield Berry. So
yes. It's the worst shot I've ever seen.
Yeah, so yeah, like I think if he doesn't make scores, people will be like, Has he lost something, or has his technique gone awry? So, and if he doesn't score runs in those other arenas, I think pressure will be on him.
Yeah. Hashtag AskTGC. I put a tweet out there on my Twitter just to see what the general temperature was amongst the public. Lexi said, "Is Cam Green the next Keith Miller, or is it the other way around?" Max Hope said, "Why, despite being a summer sport, does fielding look the best in a long sleeve jumper / vest?" That's an interesting one. It looks better.
Nomenclature again. Long sleeve jumper / vest. Is that either or are they regarding that as the same thing? Let us know where you are in the nomenclature of vest, sleeveless sweater, jumper. What are we doing?
Harrison Reed said, "Hues, colours, jumpers, skeletons, carrots. Enough for me to glance at the TV." Oh, okay. So he's into it, Harrison. He's very keen on this series.
And it's vulnerable of him to admit that.
Glancing at the TV. That is very interesting, Harrison. Hope everything's okay at home there, mate. Necessary. Jick said, "Have we entered the green assance?" Okay. Peter said, "Has green gone past sobers now?" Michael said, "I'm going to be thinking about green when I slip one through the old miso tonight." Shouldn't have read that. Gandalfa said, "Who would win a foot race, Higgos or Emu?" What's the ground speed of an emu, I wonder?
Emus are quite quick, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
Charlie's here. We can actually look this stuff up like actual producers do. But emu's got a bit of toe. I've always wondered about you and your foot speed. Like whether were you blessed? Were you a man of foot speed, or?
I'm not sure I've got emu pace.
No, but that's not my question. Just tell us. You got any? Did you have toe as a kid?
I've got some toe.
You had some. Like athletics carnival. Are you?
I'm having a look.
You on the podium? At an athletics carnival at school? Because
school, yeah.
It's
being
like
a fast runner is as powerful as you get at school.
Show me a child until he's 7 and I'll show you the man. You know what I mean? How are you performing age 7 at athletics carnivals?
Yeah. I had a banging podcast when I was 7, put it like that.
I've got a question that's not been raised here that I think needs to be said. Where are we at vis-a-vis Scotty Kugelline, just vis-a-vis how it looks, etc.? What are we?
Oh, the action! I've never seen it before.
It bears commenting.
Yeah, the action was I wouldn't say it was wild or fancy free. It was he needs his arms to propel himself And then at the crease, it's all a bit yuck for me.
It's just something to remark upon.
Yeah.
It does it like, he gets the gig ahead of Wags. Like, geez, fuck, Cougs must be in form. And like it's something's there. It's a speed thing, but like
here's what I think about
it's slinging and it's out of the hand.
I thought with Cougar line selection that Wagner had a great day today.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great day for Wags.
Yeah.
Got himself on the field, subfielded, got a lot of airtime, faces in the crowd, face cutouts of cardboard in the crowd.
Are we okay with retiring? And we know the practicalities of it. He's helping the team, so the optics don't really matter, but they do here.
Yeah. Pezza, am I going to sit on this channel and am I going to sledge Neil Wagner, a friend of the show, who gave us his time to come onto this show, a man of 60-something tests? He's won matches for his country.
Yeah.
Am I going to say, if you retire, what the fuck are you doing on the bench?
Yeah.
Get out of the limelight. Am I going to sit here and say that?
You made an interesting comparison. Off air. Like it was all a little bit,
What did I say?
JT. A little bit John Terry.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to give it to you. I don't want to take it.
Sorry. We say so many things. I mean, there was one point today where we were just pretending like we were in the sheds and just saying, shot rats, can't great egg.
Yeah,
that's what we do at work.
That's right. Work hard, Greg. Come on.
Come on, boys. Two, deuce.
Yeah. And then we were talking about how when you play cricket, anytime you're batting, you can't hear anything anyone's saying. So people are going, work hard, start again, etc. And all you can hear is, Or you be the thing, or the guy where the ball's about 1.5 meters away from the rope and you say, save him. Yeah.
Oh, cheers, boy. That's actually saved me some energy.
What about out in the field where like bowler or keeper, all I can hear is the wind rushing through my ears.
Yeah. Yeah, look, am I going to sit here on this channel and say that Wagner being on the field today reminded me of John Terry lifting the Champions League trophy after being injured or suspended and then turning up on the podium in full kit with boots on and shin pads and lifting the trophy? Am I going to sit here and say that about a great New Zealander?
Yeah.
A great New Zealander. Am I going to say that? I guess we'll find out.
Indeed.
On tomorrow's show. Thanks for joining us. See you guys on the internet tomorrow. Cheers.